Hello and welcome back, and everybody, Levi here, and I've got somewhat of a different video here for you guys today. This is a recent deck tech that I made for one of my patrons that I uploaded over on Patreon, and I thought that I'd share it here on YouTube as well to really show you guys what my Patreon, is all about and what you can expect for supporting. So as you'll see in the video, I go over just about every card in the deck and try to stick to your guys' suggestions, as well as I can, while also putting my own spin on the deck, trying to stay within, budget restrictions and themes, things like that. So if you're interested in joining the Patreon, I have a link down below. There's like a little video over there going over the perks that you'll receive for supporting. But that's really all I've got for today, and I hope you guys enjoy the deck tech. All right, hello and welcome in, patrons. Levi here, and today I've got a deck tech for TK, my patron. He wanted a Loot the Pathfinder deck. In the message, he says, let's see, there are a bunch of ways you can go. I'd love to see your take on it. I had an idea to do artifacts and vehicles with the Secret Commander being Bellow, as he can animate the vehicles into 4/4s, but choose whatever way you want to go. It's easy to do a budget since Loot is a good card. One thing to note off the rip here, I got that down to 85 minus the commander, so it's about like 80 bucks. Not to mention it's also over 100 cards. I didn't go with your vehicle idea because I didn't think it was really the best way to go with Loot. You can, if you want to, do the vehicle things, but he just doesn't have anything to do with vehicles. He, besides like the tapping theme, but he wants to be tapped to his own abilities. So I did a few different themes in the deck. That's why it's at 105, because I left a few extra cards in the deck, so you can kind of pick how you want to make your own deck. I'll start by going over the commander, and then I guess I'll just go over all the different strategies I threw in the deck. Yeah, you can kind of make your list from there. You could just build what I brewed here, but if something sounds more fun, just go and do that. So Loot the Pathfinder, I'll just read the commander. 2 green, blue, red. 2/4 Beast Noble, double strike, vigilance, haste. Has 3 exhaust abilities, meaning you can only activate them once. Pay a green, add 3 mana of any one color. Pay a blue, draw 3 cards. Pay a red, and deal 3 damage to any target. So what I did, I kind of tried to build the deck around each of those 3 abilities. Like, what could you do to make those 3 abilities even better than they already are? Obviously, adding 3 mana, drawing 3 cards, dealing 3 damage is already good on its own, but I wanted ways to amplify that. So I think no matter which way you go in the deck, you're going to want to add in Blink. You have to, if you want to use your commander effectively at all, because in order to reset these abilities, you're going to have to blink your commander. So I threw in, one shots like Blur, 2 in a blue, instant, it blinks something, you draw a card. Conjurer's Closet's down to $1 now, which is crazy. Used to be $10, and now it's $1. This blinks on your end step, so you get a free one every turn. Deadeye Navigator gives Soul Bond with another creature, and you can pay 2 to blink it. So obviously not infinite with the 3 mana, because you need green to activate it, so you can't do blue and then green, but you can do it a lot. You can do it definitely more than once per turn, and then be drawing a ton of cards, dealing a bunch of damage, adding mana. Yeah, Essence Flux, just a 1 mana version of it. This blinks 2 things. I also have some other tap creatures in the deck that want to be blinked to reset their tap abilities. So Ghostly Flicker is good because you can hit more than one, your commander, and then one of the other ones. I'll go into those a little later. Lily Splash Mentor, this is a cool one because it is repeatable. It does cost 3 mana, but you can use the exhaust ability to add the mana to pay at least some of that into this anyway. Have 1 left over, but you're gonna have to add either, if you add 3 blue or whatever, you're gonna have to leave 1 blue over and then tap another green. However you want to do it. It also gives it a counter when it comes in, which that's not really useful. But Metal Door, this is a really good one. It's kind of like the, I would say it was the budget Conjurer's Closet, but now Conjurer's Closet's budget, so that doesn't really matter. This has flying, and when it hits a player, you blink something, and then these 2 are just also 1-shots. You could go more blink if you want to. I tried to throw all the budget repeatable versions of blinking in the deck. Obviously, you want to be blinking as many times as you can to draw a bunch of cards, do a bunch of damage, add a bunch of mana, but we don't have that many repeatable versions outside of the Lily Splash and the Mental Door and stuff like that are cheap. There's like the Thassa, that's like 20 bucks or whatever. So if you happen to have one, throw that in the deck. The other category I would throw in is the untapping theme. Like, some of these are also copying, which I'll go into that in a sec, but the untapping theme is obviously a must. So no matter which version you pick, what you focus on, I suppose, keep the blink and keep the untap, and then the other stuff you can kind of do what you want. So Adric, this one copies the activated ability. That's what the copy means. It's less about clones and more about copying the ability. So pay 2 in a blue, copy target activated or triggered ability you control. Basically, this doubles up any of your exhaust abilities without having to blink. So if you don't have any of your blinks, you can copy the abilities to get more value. Paying 4 mana to draw 6 cards is still really good. That's a good rate. Battle Mage's Bracers, this one's really good. It is a little expensive, it's $4, but this turns all of your exhaust abilities into pay the color and then a colorless, and then you get 2 versions of the abilities, so blue and 1 and draw 6. Really, really good. Obviously some untap in the deck because we want to use all the abilities every turn. Clever Conjurer, this is just one way to untap a permanent. Oh, this is in the deck because it has triple blue, and I thought a way to use the first ability is to add in cards that have the triple mana cost. So I just thought of that right when I was going to record this video. I thought of that deck idea. If you wanted to do Devotion, you could do that too. I don't know how much Devotion support is in, you know, Teamer, or what you could even do with it, but you could. That could be a road you go. Even if you're not doing Devotion, a lot of these cards are balanced around having the triple pips, so obviously it's going to be a little harder to do if you're not having your commander adding 3 mana of any color. So yeah, Faded Infatuation just creates a token copy of a creature you control, and then you scry 2 if it's on your turn. Illusionist Bracers, another kind of expensive card, it's $3. This is an equipment. It's basically the same thing as the Battle Mage's Bracers, but it's even better because you don't have to pay for it. Eoreth, I think is how you say it. This is another untapper. Pretty cool, because if you happen to have another legendary creature that's tapped, you can untap 2. So you do your commander and one other, or just your commander, whatever you want. Or if your commander's dead, you can untap another target permanent, so you can untap a land or something like that. So it's kind of like a mana dork. Also, I threw in the legendary clones. Arenicus's Vile Duplication is one of them. Having another copy of your commander obviously is fantastic. Our whole deck is basically built around our commander. Kelpie Guide, another untapper. Marvin's really cool. This is basically just another copy of your commander. It's kind of similar to like the legendary clone thing, but it's not a clone. 2 mana 2/2. It has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. So this basically acts like another version of your commander, because the activated abilities are the only things we actually want from it. Nature's Chosen is an aura that untaps itself. You put it on the commander, but you can only do it once, so it's a little less good, but still not bad. Rings of Bright Hearth, kind of like the Battle Mage's Bracers, but you have to pay 2 to copy it. Seeker of Skybreak, an untapper, but not for your commander. Why do I have this in here? Oh, because I have other creatures. Where are they? Glissa. I'll go into it later, but I have other creatures like Glissa that you can use the Peregrine Dynamo on. You don't have to have this if you don't want it. Oh, this isn't an untapper. This is a copier. This just copies abilities. Yeah, things like that. And then another untapper. I guess I'll start over here. So I tried to build, like I said, around each of the abilities. Vrondis, you can do Enrage if you want to, because you're doing 3 damage to any target. So you have to find Enrage creatures that have more than 3 toughness. So once per turn, you can get their Enrage trigger. So it says whenever Vrondis dealt damage, create a 5/4 token that says whenever this creature deals damage, sacrifice it, and the rolling dice part doesn't matter. But basically, once per turn, you use the red to shoot this, and then get a 5/4. That's not bad. This is just another way you can go with the deck if you want to put in the tap to deal damage to your opponents. You're doing the untap thing anyway, so, you know, if you have a bunch of your untappers and your commander happens to die, you can at least use them for something else, like Unruly Catapult or Panicked Altosaurus, same thing, but it's 5 mana, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Chandra's Incinerator is good in any version of the deck that you're doing, because you pay 1 and shoot something for 3, and that reduces this by 3, and then it comes in, so that would cost only 3 mana instead of 6. And then it says whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So after you shoot them in the face and then have this reduced, the next time you do it, you shoot them again, and then it also pings one of their creatures, basically kind of doubling up on the value of the lightning bolt effect. Basilisk Collar, I threw it in the deck because you can equip this to your commander, and then you deal 3 damage to any target. So no matter what, the 3 damage that you're dealing with your loot is going to be able to kill the creature because it has Death Touch. Also, Lifelink. Lifelink is another way to go with the deck. Loot itself is dealing the damage, so you can put Lifelink on your commander and then gain a bunch of life. You could do a life gain theme if you wanted to. Some of the card draw. This is a pretty cool one I found because I was looking through his creature types and actually found Wirewood Savage. Whenever a beast ETBs, you may draw a card. So we're doing the Blink a lot. We're flickering our commander. So every time he leaves and then comes back in the battlefield, Wirewood Savage triggers. So then we got Unctus. Other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card and discard a card. Basically just looting. Teferi's Aegis Insight is really good because it turns our draw 3 into draw 6 because it doubles from 3 to 6. Snake Umbra works as protection with the totem armor. Obviously, our commander is extremely strong. People are going to want to kill it. Also, whenever this creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. So another benefit for the lightning bolt. If you shoot your opponent, you actually get to draw a card off of that, and it gives the totem armor really good. This is another Enrage card. You really need the card draw. You can shoot the Ripjaw Raptor. It has 5 toughness, so it won't die, and then you draw a card. Again, with the Enrage theme if you want to. Niv Mizzet the Firemind. This is payoff for the card draw. Whenever you draw a card, deals 1 damage to any target. So tap this, draw 3 cards, shoot somebody for 3, and then it also has tap to draw a card, so extra card draw is always good. Plus, colored pips is not that big of a deal because our commander adds 3 mana of any one color, so we can add like triple red or triple blue or whatever, and then it will be a little easier to cast. Merfolk Looter, I have this in the deck because it's a tap ability. That's it. Card draw and it's tap ability, so we can untap it with our other guys. This card's crazy. I never even saw this card until recently. Mercurial Chemist, pay a blue, tap it, draw 2 cards, so it's a little worse than our commander, but we have untappers, so drawing more cards, always good. Humble Defector, I threw this in because it's funny. Draw 2 cards, target opponent gains control of the Humble Defector, will activate only during your turn. So how this works, so basically you tap the Humble Defector, and in response to the ability, you can untap it and tap it again. However many untappers you have, you can do that. So this could end up doing like, if you have like 3 untappers, you draw 8 cards or whatever before you have to give it away. You'll probably never get it back, but whatever. It's still pretty funny. Curiosity, this is a benefit to your Lightning Bolt. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Another card draw option, obviously. This is in the card draw category. Then we got Arcanus, tap, draw 3 cards. So similar to our commander, and we have our untappers. The lands, I don't think there's anything. Reliquary, you're drawing a lot of cards, so you need that. You'd probably even want to throw in more than just the one. Yeah, probably throw in like Thought Vessel, or no, even better, Decanter of Endless Water. Love that card. These are all just mana fixers. Yeah, so nothing else besides Reliquary Tower is pretty relevant. And we got the ramp. Doing Walking Atlas because we're going to be drawing a lot of cards, so it's likely that we're going to have lands in our hand. Plus, it's a tap ability, so you can untap a couple times. Say you have 3 lands in your hand, tap it, and then untap it 2 more times to put all those lands into play. A little bit of ramp. I put Svella in the deck because it's a way to use the 3 mana. You can either use it into this ability and look at the top 4 cards of your library and then cast one of them for free, or you can pay the 3 directly into the first ability to make basically an Arcane Signet. Sky Shroud Ranger, same effect as the Walking Atlas, same with the Sakura Tribe Scout. Patriarch Steel, this one is an untapper, also a mana rock. Llanowar Tribe is a mana dork that taps for 3 green, so if you're not in an untapping deck, it's really good to have that. Llanowar Scout, same thing as the other Walking Atlas effects. Leyline of Abundance, 2 reasons I put this in here. One is that whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. Oh, this may work with a Lily Splash Mentor. How does this work? So you pay a green into this, you add 3 blue. This one adds a green, so you're at 4. No, it doesn't, it's not like infinite or anything, but yeah, so you have the requirement, the 3, and then you'll have a green left over. Oh wait, no, you need the green to pay for this. Yeah, so you have a blue left over. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So basically you have to pay the green, that's it, and then if you have the ley line out, you add enough mana to activate this, and you have a blue left over, so you can use that blue for something else. That's pretty cool. And then the other thing is it has another ability that you can dump mana into, putting plus and plus counters on each creature you control. That's not really how we're planning on winning, but it's usable nonetheless. Gyre Engineer, mana dork that adds 2 colors. Farseek for ramp, Arcane Stake for ramp. Removal, this one's cool. Sigil of Sleep, 1 mana aura. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to a player, return target creature that player controls to its owner's hand. So this doesn't say combat damage, it says regular damage, so you put this on your commander, shoot somebody in the face for 3, and then you get to bounce one of their creatures. Negate, you have to have counter spells up because your commander is deadly. People don't like it. Kusari-gama, this card is really cool in the deck. 3 mana, artifact equipment. First line doesn't matter. Whenever equipped creature deals damage to a blocking creature, Kusari-gama deals that much damage to each other creature defending player controls. Equip 3. So you equip this onto your commander, you wait for somebody else to go to combat, and then what do? They block. You shoot it for 3, and then it'll deal 3 to their entire team. This card's crazy. Glissa, Sunseeker, I talked about it earlier. Tap this, destroy target artifact if its converted mana cost is equal to the amount of mana in your mana pool, so you can add the 3, you kill a 3 mana cost target. This isn't equal to, yeah, so you have to do exactly 3, so you can kill 3 mana artifacts, or you can, spend 1 mana, spend some mana, and then hopefully, I don't know, there's different ways you can use it, obviously. Dugan, Private Detective, I threw this in here because it's cool that it has the same thing as our commander, activate only once. The important part is that he gets power and toughness equal to the number of cards in our hand, which is obviously going to be big because we are drawing a lot of cards, and then you pay 1, tap, Dugan deals damage equal to twice its power to another target creature, so this is removal, repeatable, as long as we have our blink spells, Conjurer's Closet, our Dugan, and then we can kill something again on the next turn. Counterspell, Blasphemous Act, Beast Within, Offering Can't Refuse. All standard stuff. Then I have the utility. Again, Wizard class, this is more payoff for the card draw. No max hand size, draw 2 cards, and this is the payoff part. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That one's not bad. Ulamog's Dreadsire, I threw this in here because I have this in my Augusta tap untap deck. Since we're in an untapping theme too. Pay 10 mana, which isn't so bad because your commander adds 3, so you only have to have 7 other mana. So it's a 10/10 vigilance, ward, sack a permanent with mana value 1 or greater, and then tap it to create a 10/10 Eldrazi. This is kind of like our finisher in the deck. Tap it, untap this as many times as you can. I still haven't got it out in that deck, but I can't wait for it to happen so I can, you know, make a bunch of 10/10s and kill people with it. It's a cool card. Sly Instigator, this one's cool. Pay a blue, tap until your next turn. Target creature and opponent controls can't be blocked, and it's goaded. Cool way to end up killing your opponent, so you can do more of a goad theme if you want with cards like Red Death, Shipwrecker. Also notable, we're in the tapping, untapping themes. There's a tapping card similar to this one. This one's a tap ability. Goad target creature and opponent controls. That player draws a card, you add red. More of a goad theme if you wanted to do that. Krosan Warchief's really cool in this deck. Also cares about the beast thing. Beast spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and then pay 1 and a green to regenerate target beast. So you can do it on itself or on your commander. Eternal Witness to get stuff back, and then Aether Charge. This one's really cool. I stole this one from my Kalia deck. You'll probably see that video in a few days. I'm not sure which one I'll upload first, but whenever a beast comes into play under your control, you may have it deal 4 damage to target opponent. Whenever we blink our commander, it shoots an opponent for 4. Another way to close out the game. So that's pretty much it for this build. Now I hope you see what I'm saying when you can like choose which path you want to go to. So if you want to do more of the wizard class style effects and focus on the drawing cards, getting, you know, whenever you draw your second card each turn, or whenever you draw a card, or whenever you draw a card on an opponent's turn. I think there's some card that does that. There's lots of different ways you can build loot. This is just the thing that came to my mind, trying to, you know, slam a bunch of these cool cards together to make a really wacky deck. One thing to note, this commander is really strong, and it's 5 mana, which is kind of annoying. I just, that particular mana value 5 is so annoying. I hate having commanders that have 5 mana value. Like 4 is like the perfect spot for me, because it's like, it's right around that time you want to be casting your commander, and 5 seems like you can double cast. You can do like a 3 and a 2, and then if you want to hold up mana so you don't get counter, like you hold up counterspell mana so your commander doesn't die or whatever, you have to wait till way later. But I digress. I hope this is informative. I hope I gave you a couple ideas, TK, into what you could do for your deck. Again, I try to do the artifact vehicle thing, but I just thought it didn't go with it at all. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.